This week, Tom Brady leads the Bucs into New York. The Jets might lead the series 10-2, but TB12 is 30-8 against them. He'll try to add another win only on EA Sports.
Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive as we have at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led by the number 2 overall pick in April's draft from BYU, the rookie Zach Wilson.
And what was really attractive about Zach Wilson coming out of college, coming out of BYU, his ability to create and make plays when many people thought they didn't exist. But what's been even better is watch him improve in the pocket, able to hit the back foot, make the right read, and the right throws.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
It's straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Well, look at the numbers for Coleman in last week's game. 18 carries, 60 yards.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Airing one out for Crowder. It got his man complete. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Coleman. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jason Pierre-Paul, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Tampa Bay coming out along with a man who needs no introduction, the great Tom Brady.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
On 1st down, Brady. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So those are the numbers for Gronk in last week's outing. 3 catches, 60 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Brady to throw again. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Brady now to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. John Franklin Myers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The sack backs him up, 3rd and long. Tough challenge for Brady and the Bucs. From the gun, Brady. A pass underneath for Fournette. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees you a spot in the playoffs, but still a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoff system, but still a nice spot to be in.
They get the USC man, Elijah Vera Tucker. Now Wilson. And the grab by Croft. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Throwing is Wilson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Uncorks one for Davis. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And it's Washington out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a give to Fournette. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On play action, it's Brady. Over the middle to Evans. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Here we go.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now Brady. The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing now is Brady. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. And he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about, to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your number 1 path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Wilson. He'll get this to Coleman. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Braden Mann now as he's on to punt for New York. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Oh, they can't stop him.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there, a jumbo package look. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. That's complete to his running back, Evans. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Brady. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Short throw hauled in by Croft. And after the nice stiff arm, the next wave swarms in quickly for the stop. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams playing their 16th game of the regular season. And obviously for decades, that was the full season. But as we all know, a little strange, still 1 more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see how things play out next week because we know their division titles and wild card spots up for grabs. So those teams, no doubt, they'll be all in. But how would you like to go in front of a team that's 3-13 and say, okay, guys, one more time, let's go get them. If we win, it benefits someone else.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
They'll run with Coleman on first down, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they hand off to Coleman. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Jets on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Fournette once more on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. A handoff to Fournette. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Around the NFL, second quarter in Chicago. And it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. On first down, Wilson. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. To try again after the sack. Wilson escaping the pressure right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Wilson. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with great starting field position up near the 50, they might be one completion away from stealing a late field goal here. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Looking to throw again on second down. Brady. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for Tampa Bay. And there's not much to speak of in terms of passing efficiency. But in a tie game, they know a few tweaks could make a big difference going forward. Meanwhile, for the Jets, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Let's go. Let's go.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. And Charles, a scoreless first half. How does that change how you assess things here moving forward?
Well, it doesn't change it a whole lot because, remember, it's still scoreless, which means you're starting from 0 again, so you just have one half to play instead of 2. What I would look at my play sheet, though, and see is something that maybe loosens things up for my guys, gets a smile on their faces, and gets them going to begin the second half.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Brady's throw taken in by Evans here. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is Fournette. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Fournette. And room there to work it inside the 25. 3 yards remain for second down. Brady going to throw. Goes right side, complete to Gronk. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Here's Brady to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And Suckup will put this one right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Coleman going to get it again on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Brady. They'll swing this out to Fournette. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. Now Fournette. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Again, it's Fournette. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. Brady he'll try again on second down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And that's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Short throw hauled in by Croft, and he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. From the 24, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
2nd down and 3. On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And he is going to follow just first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 44 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Coleman now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. This is Coleman. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll drop this down to Coleman, and he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this kick is not gonna get there. It's short and no good. A fourth quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw taken in by Miller. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Brady. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. So some pressure now on the kicker, Ryan Succop. This will be from 49 yards out. Succop's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So that gets him a little bit of breathing room, but not much. And you have to think back to the field goal that he missed earlier. This would be a 2-score game right now if he had converted then.
And if you and I are thinking about it, you know he is as well, because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I hope I get one more shot in an important spot. He just made that one. He wants one more later to truly make up for the earlier miss.
New York set to take the field. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DB, so a dime set here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And the grab by Croft. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Throwing is Wilson. And his throw here is incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
They have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Ndamukong Suh racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Here's the Jets punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bucs ready to take over once again. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
2nd down, back to Fournette. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Fournette. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he is going to have a Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Brady will take a knee here, and that should just about do it. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say? It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So for Tampa Bay, they run their record to 13-3 now on the year.